Hi, I'm Eric Mansfield. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and welcome to Practical Mental Health. So today I'm going to teach you a basic stretching routine. This is mainly for relaxation, stress reduction, reducing tension. I tend to use it a lot before bedtime, so that way it kind of helps me finalize that sense of relaxation, helps me sleep. So the theory behind this is we're going to be working from our heart. The heart is the center, and we're going to work our way out. The idea is that the way that your heart pumps blood, oxygenated blood leaves the heart, and then it works its way out to the extremities. From the heart, major muscle groups, down to your fingertips, down to the tips of your toes, and then it works its way back. So that's kind of the idea, is loosening up the muscles. Hopefully the idea is maybe increasing blood flow as we get towards the extremities and out to the fingertips and the ends of your toes. So these are basic major muscle groups, not getting into too fine of detail or anything like that. This is not yoga. Theoretically speaking, it's not really exercise, it's just a stretching routine. So yeah, all right, so there's some things to kind of take into consideration too. When you do this, I would encourage you to be next to a door jamb or something, or anything that has a solid foundation so that it doesn't give, because you're going to put some pressure on the object, especially the door jamb. If you're just holding on to loose things or anything that's not anchored, it could break free and you could lose your balance and end up hurting yourself. Please don't do that. So having a door jamb available, we're going to start with the chest. So just kind of follow along, or you can watch the video and kind of get an idea of how this goes and then replay it later. But we're going to start with the chest, and then we're going to do the back. And then I tend to work my way out, arms, then down to the torso and legs. So for the chest, what I want you to do is find a door jamb or some kind of stable structure. And thinking about the way that your muscles are aligned, that's how I want you to kind of think about stretching your muscles. You want to stretch them in alignment with what they're doing and what they're supposed to be doing. So your chest muscles kind of act like a fan. So they're all connected, probably right here around your shoulder area. But you got muscles that go down, and you got muscles that go across where your collarbone is, and it fans out, that kind of thing. So hitting the major muscle groups from different angles definitely is going to be helpful. Hopefully the idea is that you're stretching the entire muscle group, not just one band of muscles within the group. I hope that makes sense. So I don't have any illustrations to show you at this particular moment, but anyway, so the idea is that when it comes to the chest and even back, I'm going to do multiple positions, and I would suggest that you follow along with it as well. Okay, so what I tend to do is, like, starting with one side, as far as your chest, I tend to grab kind of low. And when you grab low, and what you're going to do is kind of try to keep your body lined up, kind of parallel to where your arm is heading. So your arm should be straight out, and you're going to turn your body, your whole upper torso. It's not just about moving your arm or anything like that. It's about moving your body while you make your arm stable and stationary. So grabbing down low, when you turn, do this gently. You should feel it in the upper chest area. So once you go ahead and do that, and you can kind of rotate and move your arms as you see fit in order to feel the stretch in your chest specifically. You might feel it in your arms. That's okay. So just go ahead and do that for a few seconds. Okay. Now you're going to raise your arm up to mid-level. So it should be parallel to the floor. Make sure that you're balanced and you're stable. And then you're going to turn again. And you're going to stretch those muscles. Should be in the mid-range of your chest. Okay. Now you're going to reach up high. And you're going to feel this more in the lower chest. So then you kind of turn your torso away. You should feel that in the outer part of your chest muscle. Okay. Same thing for the other side. Now, with a door jamb, if you have a door, be careful so that you don't get your fingers pinched or caught. And make sure that nobody else is around, that they can shut the door on your fingers. Okay, so reaching low, again, turning away. And it should be low enough so that you should be able to feel it in your upper chest area. I was reaching too low. Okay, now mid-range. You should feel that in the middle. All right, and then up high. You should feel that in the outer lower part of your chest. And remember, slow, steady breathing while you're doing this. Try not to hold your breath. Okay, so those are the chest muscles. So now we're going to do the back. And let's see, angle, I'm going to do this right here. So it's good to have like something that has trim on it that you can grip your fingers onto, both sides. So basically the way that I do this, same thing. Reaching low for the upper back, middle for mid-range, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to bend over and kick my butt out and then stretch the longer muscle group at the lower end. So with this, the same thing, where you grab onto something that's sturdy, and for the back, you're going to turn into your arm instead of away from your arm. And sometimes you can put your hand on the door jamb to kind of push and feel that stretch in your back muscles. So go ahead and do that for a couple seconds. All right, now reach up a little bit more, position your hand higher, and now turn into your hand or into your arm and try to stretch the mid-range. You should be able to feel the difference in the muscle groups. And you can kind of bend and shift your weight as you feel is necessary. All right. You can keep your hand where it is, or you can drop it down. What I tend to do is I will bend over and kind of kick my butt out, but still turning sort of into the arm, and then allow your body to just kind of elongate. And you should feel that in your lower back muscles. Okay, now same thing for the other side. Starting off kind of low, turn into your arm, and you should feel that in the upper back region, upper back muscles. Do that for a couple of seconds. All right, raise your arm up. Again, turn into your arm. You should feel that kind of in the mid-range area, middle of the back. All right, and then reposition yourself so that you can bend over, stick your butt out, and kind of lean away, leaning into your arm, but elongating those back muscles. You should feel all the way down to your hip. Okay. All right, so that's chest and back. All right, so what I usually do next is my shoulders. What I tend to do is I'll put my hand on the small of my back, or usually sometimes right here at the edge or on the side of my hip. The idea is that you're going to put the back of your hand on your hip, and you're bringing your arm around to the front. So almost kind of like you're chicken winging it. So what you're going to do is you're going to reach through this little triangle that you created. You're going to grab your forearm, and you're going to kind of pull gently and even push down if you need to. You should feel this in your shoulder muscles. A gentle stretch. Again, we're not doing this to force anything. We're not doing it for flexibility. This is just for relaxation. Okay, same thing. Other side, chicken wing it. Reach through the triangle and pull and push at the same time if you feel like you need to. Okay. All right, that was the shoulder muscles, just a basic stretch. So next I go to biceps. So, excuse me, biceps are kind of similar to your chest, but there's a variance with regards to your hand placement. So I'm gonna start on this side. With the chest, it was basically you're grabbing with your palm facing out. This time, palm facing away, your thumb is down, and position yourself so that your arm is kind of in line with your body. Maybe a little bit of an angle to the door jamb, so that way your thumb doesn't slip off. And what you're going to do is kind of gently press against the wall so that your thumb doesn't slip. Turn your arms so that your biceps are kind of facing more up than down. So you're turning your elbow, and then you're going to turn your body slowly. And you should feel the majority of that stretch in your biceps. And again, you can do this at different angles, and sometimes I just kind of bend, I'll shift my body and instead of placing my hand in a different spot. All right, same thing with the other side. Palm facing out up against the door jamb, thumb down, facing down. Turn your elbow so that your biceps are more facing out and up, and then turn your body away. And you should feel that stretch in your biceps. You can shift your body, hit different parts of the biceps, always being gentle. Again, relaxation. Okay. Next are your triceps. So this is the muscles in the back part of your arm. So there's a few different ways that you can do this. Some people, and really the way that I was taught in high school and junior high school, was that you're supposed to reach over, basically put the palm of your hand on the back of your neck, and then you're supposed to reach over and pull back, and kind of pulling your hand down so that your hand slides down your spine. That can, if that works for you, awesome, do it. If you feel like you're getting a good stretch. I don't feel like I get a good stretch from that. So what I do is I make a fist and I put it to the back of my head, and then I kind of push my arms back, and then I can really feel it in my triceps. So whichever way you're comfortable with, I would suggest do that. Okay. Now the other side. Again, you can reach over and pull if that works for you, or you can make a fist, put it on the back of your skull, and then using your head, just kind of push back, kind of compressing your forearm into your biceps and shoulder. And sort of leaning back too. That's how I feel it. So, okay. All right, so we've done chest, back, shoulders, biceps, triceps. Now we're going to do the forearms. So there are definitely multiple ways to do forearms. So basically the way I start is I'll make a fist, kind of like you're holding your fist to your gut here, and then you're going to kind of curl your fist into your forearm. You should feel it on the back side of your forearm muscles. So go ahead and do that for a few seconds. Okay. And then what I do is I roll it over, and I do the opposite, rolling my fist under. It's just a different angle, hits a different head. Okay. Now, still working on the same arm. I tend to have my hand flat like this, pointing up, and then I'll push my fingertips back. That should hit the under part of your forearms. Let's go ahead and do that for a couple seconds. Okay. And then I tend to do this with my arm sticking out. Do the same thing. And instead of doing it this way, you're doing it under this way. Now, same thing, other hand. So taking your hand, your fist facing up, you're going to roll your fist that for a couple of seconds. All right, turning it over, rolling under. Okay, next, hand straight up, pushing it back. Or open-handed, yeah. All right, and then under. Okay. Okay, so chest, back, shoulders, biceps, triceps, forearms. So from here, I tend to work my way down. So what I'm going to do is we're going to stretch the upper shoulders, upper neck muscles. So what I tend to do is I'll kind of like clasp my hands and put them behind my back, almost, kind of like you would do if you're doing sit-ups, but you're standing. So basically what I do is I try to, hopefully this isn't going to get too loud with the microphone, but I'm going to tuck my chin into my chest. And you can maneuver your back and your shoulders, just kind of move your body. You're a dynamic creature, so just keep in mind that you can move around. You don't have to do all this linear. We're not linear. We have a full range of motion, and that's what I want you to do. Okay. So now, kind of turn, and you should feel this in your neck and down the muscles close to your spine. All right, other side. All right. From here, making sure that your feet are relatively shoulder width apart. Same thing, but you're going to kind of roll down. You're going to stretch the muscles in your spine. So go ahead and kind of do that. All right, and then from here, just kind of coast your way down. You can put your hands on your knees. I usually slide my hands down my shins and then try to reach down and touch your toes. If you can go farther, great. Usually I can get down to where I can almost put my palms on the floor. Not quite. But the idea is you're stretching your hamstrings at this point, and you just kind of rolled into it. And it's very important to stretch your hamstrings on a regular basis, especially if you're experiencing back pain and to prevent back pain. My understanding is that a lot of people don't realize that tight hamstrings actually translate into your back and tension in the back. Okay, so that was your hamstrings. Now, what we're going to do is stretching your butt muscles. Don't forget your gluteus maximus. People tend to skip over that, and it is a major muscle group. So I'm going to show you two different ways. I do this standing, honestly, and I usually do it just to kind of practice balance, but I'll show you how to do this with the chair on the other leg. So if you're going to do this standing, be very careful. Make sure you're around something that you can grab a hold on to in case you lose your balance. You don't want to fall over. So I'm going to start with the right buttocks and right hip. So basically the idea is that you bring your leg up like you're crossing your leg. So kind of like if you were sitting and you cross your leg, and that's sort of what we're going to be doing. So your ankle should be just above your knee, and what you're going to do is you're going to kind of squat on one leg and bring your chest down straight back, keep your back straight, in other words. And you're going to kind of keep coming down until you feel the pull in your glute, in your butt muscle. And you can go as low as you need to. All right, and something else I tend to do is I will put my hand on my knee and kind of push away while also kind of turning my foot up, and I'll feel that more in my hip, like my hip flexors, I think that's what they call those muscles. So go ahead and do that. All right, so that was standing. That actually can feel like an exercise because you are gonna like tense the muscles. However, if we're sitting down, hopefully all this is gonna be in frame. So sitting down, cross your leg like you would be sitting. And you're gonna kind of grab and pull your chest to your calf. And you should feel that in the other butt muscle. All right, same thing. Putting your palm of your hand on your knee, kind of pushing away, and rotate and move your body until you do feel it in your hip flexors. You should feel that in your hips. Okay. All right, so next, thighs. Hang on to something if you feel like you don't have good enough balance. I tend to feel like I do. So basically, I'm gonna do this from the side. You're gonna bring your hand or your legs up, grab underneath. You're gonna point your knee down, and then you're gonna pull back, kind of rotate it back. So you should feel that in your thigh muscles. Depending, also kind of move around and see how the muscle feels as you move. Okay, same thing for the other side. Knee down and then pull back. All right. Okay, and next are your calves. Let's see, so hopefully, I guess it depends. Let's see. I should have planned this a little bit better for the calves. So basically what you're going to do is kind of like getting into like a lunging position. And hopefully you'll be able to see my feet. Maybe, maybe not. But the idea is that you want to have your body and your feet, especially your back foot, lined up with whatever it is that you're pushing on. You can push on a wall. But the idea is you're going to have your heel to the floor and keep it to the floor. And then you're going to lean forward and kind of pushing on the structure, the wall, the door jamb, whatever. And you should feel the stretch in your calf muscle. So you can adjust yourself as you need to. Okay. And then I just step back, put my foot pretty much where the other one was, and then I step forward, keeping my heel to the floor, and then sort of get into that lunge position and feel the calf stretch. Okay. All right, and so that's most of it. And let's see. Pardon me, I'm going to have to change this angle a little bit. Let's see, hopefully you can see this. So What I want you to do now, we're going to do the shins. So usually what I do is I kick my shoes off. And basically, you're going to be curling your toes under. You can do them both at the same time. I usually do them both at the same time instead of once or one at a time. But be careful with this because you don't want to tense the muscles in your feet because you can induce a cramp. So the idea is to just kind of be relaxed and just let the weight of your leg do the work. So you're just basically curling the toes under and you're putting a little bit of pressure and kind of trying to push your shins out. But you should feel that stretch in your shin muscles. So go ahead and do that. Hopefully you don't get any cramps. You can kind of rotate and move your feet around. Okay. And put my shoes back on. All right, that's pretty much it for the most part. Let's see. So I'm just going to stay sitting since that's what we have right here for the camera. So there's another aspect where for relaxation purposes and in a pinch, another really good technique for your upper shoulders that we didn't do in this routine. And it's something that you can add into it. If you clasp your hands, and I teach this to everybody that comes into my office as a stress release, tension release technique, because a lot of people carry a lot of tension in their shoulders. So you clasp your hands, you're going to put your hands between your legs and you're going to kind of like push down while you're trying to pull your hands apart. But you're not going to release. You're just going to kind of push and pull. Keep your back straight and you should feel the stretch in your upper trap muscles. So go ahead and do that for a few seconds. You can roll your head and your neck. Again, being gentle. You don't want to pull muscles. You're just stretching them. And depending on the angle, you can bring your arms up or down. And you should feel it in different parts of your upper neck and upper back. Okay. One other aspect too, something that can definitely help with blood flow too, because you have, like with our legs, we did the hamstrings and thighs. However, we have arteries that are traveling through our legs from our groin on the inside. So sometimes it does help to stretch the inner muscles inside your legs. This one I learned from martial arts. I mean, everybody that does martial arts understands this one, but you probably do it for flexibility. But this will actually hopefully help increase blood flow and a sense of relaxation. It helps open up or release tense muscles. Tense muscles might be constricting and restricting blood flow. So hopefully by now, even to this point, you might actually be able to feel more relaxed, stress-free, almost kind of like your blood is flowing. So to stretch these muscles, what you can do is you can sit down, stick one leg out, and then just kind of lean into that. Your butt is still on the chair. So you kind of want to like stretch the muscles that are on the inside of your leg, and you can lean in, you can turn away. Again, like I said, we're dynamic creatures. We're not linear, even though a lot of muscles are in line with regards to how they're attached to, tendons and your bones and all that stuff. However, there are a lot of muscle groups that go in different directions, and it's not just one muscle group. I mean, every muscle group has multiple muscles and multiple connections. So, okay, now the other side. And if you are capable and you want to, the idea is that kind of like when we had our feet together and we're stretching hamstrings, similar, but you're going to step a little bit further away, and you can bend over and kind of stretch hamstrings a little bit more, but you can also kind of turn your body to do the insides of your thighs. If you feel brazen and feel like you're flexible, you can widen your stance and continue doing it this way, even touching the floor. You'll feel different muscle groups. And there's also, sometimes I stretch muscle groups that I realize I haven't been stretching, and it's kind of like, wow, I've been neglecting that. Okay. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. That's my routine. Sorry for the constant adjustments. Or not constant, but yeah, the few adjustments that I've had to make. Okay, so that's my routine. Hopefully by now you're feeling more relaxed, a little bit stress-free, or less stressed. Let's put it that way. Hopefully you are stress-free. That's my goal. Right now I feel stress-free. That's probably why that came out the way it did. So practice this on a regular basis whenever you feel like you need it. I do it regularly at night before I go to bed. This is something that you can do, and I would encourage you, maybe do it first thing in the morning when you're waking up, especially if you're getting older. If you feel like your muscles are tense, muscles, they tense up while you're sleeping. I have known, I think that there are some people that I've met, yeah, I'm pretty sure of it, like older people who are struggling with pain and arthritis, and the idea that motion is lotion. With regards to that, there are a lot of people that as soon as they wake up, they are doing stretching routines in their bed just to get the blood flowing, just to get that motion is lotion idea to be able to help relieve some of the pain. You don't have to do this in bed. The idea is like as soon as you get up, as soon as your feet hit the floor, do a stretching routine and see if that opens things up, gets the blood flowing. It might wake you up. It can also be used kind of as a somatic experiencing routine, a body check, or a body scan, let's put it that way, just in a different form. Every time, for every muscle group that you're stretching, pay attention to that muscle group. This is also part of mindfulness practice. Mind-body connection. So the more that you do it, hopefully you'll be more attuned to how your body is feeling. Are there any areas that are feeling more stressful or more tension, I should say, than others? Maybe those are the areas that you carry stress and tension. Focus on those more often than you would otherwise. Okay, let's see. I don't think there's anything else that I can think of. So, yeah, give it a shot. See how you feel. I hope this was beneficial for you. I hope it was more useful information for feeding your mind, exercising your mind, exercising your body, creating that mind-body connection. Yeah, and so I think that's pretty much it. I hope you have a wonderful day. I wish for you a wonderful life. I love you all. It's a brotherly love. Yeah, take care of yourself. Thank you.